This case was fascinating from any number of respects. The plaintiff was a 19-year-old Hispanic man. He had been hired by the cheapest vendor to do the work and had not been properly trained. The young man stuck his hand into a live electrical part, resulting in fairly catastrophic injuries, while the employee of the college was watching, who said nothing. So I was dealing with four completely different emotions. The first emotion was the man who had been injured, who was fatalistic. I had to break through that to get some emotion from him in order for the case to settle, because he'd simply shrug his shoulders for everything else that was said in the first instance. The second person who was involved was his wife, and she was just boiling mad, as you could imagine. This was her husband, and he was going to be compromised for the rest of his life. And with her, it was a matter of trying to work through that emotion so that we could get resolution. Person number three was very interesting. He was the poor college employee who stood by while this gentleman got injured. And why did he do this? He told me privately that he had always been raised not to question authority. My concern was, frankly, that he could be a suicide case down the road, because he felt awful and had a great deal of difficulty dealing with that. And the fourth was the contractor himself. The contractor was in on a cross complaint from the college and was absolutely arrogant. In his mind, he did nothing wrong. And with him, we had to get him to a point where he was able to concede that he was part of the problem and needed to be part of the resolution. It took a long time. It took patience. And frankly, at the end, we were able to resolve it with everybody shaking hands and a fair number of tears. And I don't mean just by the wife of the plaintiff. Tears all around that this was a very difficult situation and that resolution before Christmas would be in everybody's interest. It being the holiday season, they'd be a lot happier if they would be able to get beyond the litigation itself.